What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Red Dawn. We're gonna do a quick look here at the Glock 43x. Alright, so looking at the 43x, I got it in just yesterday and put it together right away. Super easy. Pop the two pins out, pop your lock and block out. It already has installed a mag release and the takedown lever. All you got to do is put your trigger group in there and put your lock and block back in. You're good to go. It already comes with or no, it doesn't come with your slide release, so you do got to use your slide release. This does somehow accept Gen 3 through 5 parts, I believe, and Gen 3 through 5 slides. So that's super cool. And once I got it in my hand, I was blown away by it. And why I say that is it's just a really great size gun. So this is my hand. Let's see, that's my hand. It's about the size of my hand, but it's also got the thickness of a regular Glock. It takes regular Glock mags. So it really feels like a regular Glock. One thing I've seen a couple people criticize is the stippling. So I'm a big fan of it, actually, because it's rougher than a regular Glock right here. Everything on a regular Glock is pretty slick. You do have the gas pedal. Some people would have liked to see the stippling on the gas pedal, but I'm okay without it. You can always have someone stipple it in there if you would like to. And I believe Lenny Magill decided to leave it off there, so that way you have the option to add it yourself if you would like. But huge fan of this. Just to give you a reference, this is a Glock 43x, virtually the same size pistol, except this is the slimline model. So just looking at the back, you can see the thickness difference, which is really not that much. I don't think that it's worth losing the Glock magazine, the factory Glock magazine that we've all learned to love, over just that. So yeah, I'd love to get the Radiant Afterburner for this, but Radiant has not released that yet. So that is kind of what it is. If you notice, no, they were able to make it a lot thinner, but the one thing about it is if you look at this rail right here in the front, you can kind of see that the 43x is much thinner than the 26x, and even the Glock 19. So all three of these guns, from like the portrait perspective, are roughly the same size, but you can see how thick that rail is. And when you line these slides up exactly, you can see how much lower the light sits. And that being said, it will not fit into a lot of holsters that the Glock 19 uses. So if you don't, I did get word from someone that if you don't use a light, it may work in Glock 19 holsters, especially when you add a comp, like one of the micro comps. So yeah, other than that, I can't wait to get this thing out. Looking forward to it. I shot the 26 and I love how the 26 and even the 27 shoot in its factory configuration. So I'm really excited to shoot it. Shout out to the Glock store. I always put the Angry Bear Arms JRO sights on everything. This is the Vortex Enclosed Defender CCW. Some people said it looks really big on here, but I actually think it looks just right. I like larger optics. I like an acro on a Glock, and this is a little smaller Glock, so it's got a little smaller than an acro on there. I have put on Instagram the type of plate that I use, which is the DPP plate, and I am super excited, man. This thing, so it feels like the Glock 19 in your hand, but you just have less slide mass. Like you can feel it when you're in the compressed ready, that you just have less weight that you're managing here in your hand, and that's kind of kind of where I like the shorter slide. So when I'm in a compress ready, not that it makes a massive difference, but you can feel that difference, and it just feels a little more compact. I don't know if this is a subcompact anymore or if it's considered a compact. Not sure. I think it's just a Glock 19 with a shorter slide with a little bit better balance. Although I have to say, the Glock 19 just points phenomenal because of the length. So yeah, I mean, I think overall they're both awesome carry options. I do wish Glock would have just released this on their own. Really grateful that the Glock store was able to design such a grip module to accommodate users and lovers of all things Glock. But there it is, the +2 extension. So now you have that. And it really feels like a Glock 19, just with less weight on the end of it. The only thing is it does use the same lights as the 43x. Now with the radiant afterburner on this 43x, it is a very 48 length. I have noticed with the radiant afterburner that it's not as long as the next size up. So a 19 or 45 with a radiant is still slightly shorter than a 1747. This probably, I haven't put it next to a 48, but my guess would be it'd be a little shorter than the 48 as well. And it doesn't seem to add much weight on the end. It adds nice pointing ability for when you draw and point a gun. Obviously adds recoil mitigation, faster follow-up shots. I really think a lot of the market you can see is going to the micro comps because it just keeps your gun shorter instead of adding a lot of weight to the end. But yeah, the 43x, I'm using PSA mags, right? So these mags so far have been fantastic. What I've noticed the most about the 43x and its difference when I'm drawing it is that the smallness of the grip and the size of my hands, when I go to grip it, I have to kind of just get a nicer grip on it, and my hand has to, just because of how thin it is. So I'm really looking forward to having the 26x instead. My hand just wraps around it nice, and I don't really have to wiggle my hands. Absolutely love the double undercut that Glock store put on here. So yeah, super excited. If you need a holster for the 26x with the flashlight, the Armsman is in production of my holster right now, and I'll showcase that probably on a short or probably on Instagram. So follow my Instagram. But yeah, if you need a Glock 26 holster, go check out thearmsman.com. Check out the Armsman on Instagram, and there is a Z in Armsman. So check him out, because if you need a holster for this, you can DM him a message, go to his website, request one, and bam, you'll have one in production. So this is your boy Red Dawn. Wanted to do a quick review of the 26x by the Glock 19 and the 43x. So, I mean, overall, guys, can't go wrong with Glock. I think longevity-wise, the 26x would outdo the smaller framed 43x's and 48s because the parts have been shrunken down, whereas all the parts on the 26 are pretty much full-size parts. And I think that you're gonna have better performance with a 26 period, a Glock 26 over the 43 and 48. Overall, guys, just figured I'd give a quick review here. This has become very popular, and I think that it would be a smart thing if Glock decided to come out with a Gen 6 Glock 26X. Would be very smart of them. So other than that, y'all, this is your boy Red Dawn. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Thank you to everybody who watches my videos in full, and I just appreciate everybody who sticks and comes around my channel. There's been a lot of ups and downs with me on YouTube, being demonetized, taking a break for a little while. Every now and then you need some breaks. I'm over here just doing a quick video. Appreciate it, man. We'll see you guys on the next one. guns.